Ladies and gentlemen, the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, proudly presents to you 15 minutes of fandom. That's right. That's where we take the spotlight and put it on that one fan, that one wrestling fan that we feel stands out from the rest. With that being said, I am your host, Flight Catching, Shot Glass Snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, 718, no cap, straight facts, the worldwide starboard, Remy Blue. But it's not about me tonight. It's actually about our special guest, a man who wears many hats. Not only is he a wrestling fan, but he's also another member of Wrestling is Everything, which also includes our recent guest, A. Diddy, aka Alex Best, and he's also the owner of Stay Wrestling Fly. It's a brand new clothing brand for us wrestling fans to rock, or whatnot. You know something? I'm gonna do the one time. For this one time, I'm not gonna do the intro for him because it wouldn't feel right. So with that being said, let the people know who you are, man.
Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy, C.F.N. Bills. The wrestling, wait for it, God. How you doing, my brother?
Good, man. Good, good, good. Just here, trying to get over, Thanksgiving. Had some good food. And now I pretty much walked out some of the itis. I still got some left. But yeah, man. Just here, man. How was Thanksgiving for you, man?
Well, it was kind of a crazy day today. You know what I mean? I still had to go to work earlier. So I went all, your bro, I was all the way up by the Poconos. Yeah, I had to drive all the way out there, come back. So I've been taking 5-hour energy drinks all day just to make sure I stayed up for this podcast.
I appreciate it, man. We appreciate it.
No problem, brother.
Normally I got my two other co-hosts, Rob Bass and Kathy Knight here, but I think that I just got them quicker than it got me, so they couldn't be here tonight. So, but
Turkey is
yeah,
dangerous, bro.
yeah. So I just gotta say, man, like y'all been killing it. Wrestling is everything. Y'all been all over New York. Making a name for y'allself. You know, at the rest of the universe, all the events, the conventions, and whatnot. Y'all are definitely making your name heard and seen. And I just gotta tip my hat off to y'all, to you and AJ and the rest of the gang. I know how many of y'all there are. Y'all like the Wu-Tang Clan. Y'all like they got like 10, 20 of y'all. So I don't know how many of y'all there are, but
Now it's a
I know.
nation, bro. It's a nation. You just see a few, but it's many. It's many.
Yeah, we had Henny Wrestling on here. Henny, he was on here too. We just had A Diddy, and there was even a guy that had a pink "Wrestling is Everything" shirt. Um, I know him as Pinky. I don't know what he goes by. I forgot. We had him on like last year, but yeah, man. I know it's a lot of y'all, man.
Now it's a big group, but right now, me and A Diddy is just trying to make sure that what we doing goes to different heights. You know, we just trying to
Okay,
push. We trying to push that needle, as my guy Roman Reigns says.
okay. You always gotta, you gotta like, have that progression. Yeah, last year you did this. Now this year you got to do it bigger, and so on and so on.
Yeah, got
Right?
to be a different experience every time you see us.
Yeah, man. And y'all definitely doing it right, man. It's like y'all got the banner and everything, and
Shout out to
yeah,
my guy. Not to cut you off. Shout out to my guy Gents. Gents Club is the reason why we got our banners. You know what I mean? So let me just give you a heads up. Wrestling is a brotherhood, is an organization that brings all of us together. Gens Club, WIE, and Stay Wrestling Fly. So all together, we wrestling as a brotherhood. So we help each other out.
okay, that's what's up. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's definitely cool, man. Yeah, y'all definitely doing well, man. So, I know I asked A Diddy this before, and I'm sure I asked Henny this as well. But how did you become a fan of professional wrestling? What was the main event? or the pay-per-view that got you hooked?
So me, I grew up around Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan era. You know what I mean? It was
Okay.
Macho Man for me. First time I watched wrestling, I see Macho Man do a promo. And I was like, yo, I'll be honest with you, I thought Macho Man was black. So that's why I was like, yo, this black dude up here killing it like that. Growing up in that era, you really didn't see that. So, I seen the match with Hulk Hogan body slamming Andre the Giant. And my uncle, his name is Eric, he used to go to a lot of the wrestling events. So he would bring back like the VHS tapes back in the days we had the VCR. So we're all piled downstairs in the living room of my grandmother's house. And he had the big TV, and we'd just sit down there and just watch tape after tape after tape of just wrestling matches, bro. So I grew up in the golden era of wrestling.
That was a great time. He had like so many characters. You had Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, Macho Man. You had the Rockers, you had the Killer Bees, and all those people.
Bob Backlund.
That was a great time. That was a great time to watch, man. And especially living in New York, of all places too. Yeah, that was definitely a great time, man.
Yeah,
I think I caught. Go ahead.
no. I was saying, yeah, like living in New York, having Madison Square Garden, that was pretty much our only platform for wrestling. We didn't have the indie scene. I didn't grow up with the indie scene. My homegirl Erica put me onto the indie scene. That's when I started doing the meet and greets and going to different shows. Like what you see now has only been going on for 3 years. Like the whole transition with, Stay Rest and Fly, all those things. It's only been going on for 3 years since like 2020, yeah, like 2020 when the pandemic started. So, I always been, a wrestling fan. I never missed a WrestleMania. I always watched SummerSlam, but I never had that, yo, let's go to this meet and greet. Let's go to this indie show. I never had that. I always had a belt or two in the stash. But like what you see with now, all of this grew over the past 3 years. Just meeting Alex and WIE, going to the wrestling universe, you know, um, just meeting different people at different events and all that. Gradually, I started, you know, letting loose and becoming the wrestling god you see now.
That's cool. That's cool that y'all got to go to y'all started going like meet and greets and so on. Um, I didn't even know they were a thing until um I didn't even know they were a thing until I started going to more events up here in New York. Because for a piece of time I was in Florida for like
Okay.
7 years. I didn't really know that such things really existed. And then I come
But
up here and I go to
Florida is a big scene for wrestling, though.
not really.
Yeah?
It's different. At least okay. So Florida's a big state, but it all depends on what part of Florida.
Okay.
Because there's like Orlando and Tampa and them, and then there's like Fort Lauderdale where I live, where it's not really that consistent in my opinion. So yeah, it's pretty much takes whatever you can get, and it's definitely not as big as New York. Right now. Everybody goes to New York. Everybody, you know, and that's why I like it here. Like it's you could meet pretty much almost anybody here. I remembered when I first moved up here, I started like meeting all like some of my college favorites, and I was like, wow, I used to watch this person on TV, and now here they are. So yeah, the meet and greets, man, they're definitely something, man. It's crazy.
You know, it's crazy. My first meet and greet was actually with TNA when Bubba Ray had the TNA championship. They had came out to Coney Island, the MCU Park. So
Mm.
I was living out there for like a good, I say 6, 7 years. And every time they have the event, I could never get the tickets, never make it. So this was like the final year they was doing it in Coney Island. So I said, nah, I gotta go. Like it's right here up the block from where my kids are. I gotta go there. So I finally got some tickets, but I didn't get the VIP tickets. So we went there and they had like, you know how they have the merch table? So they were
Yeah.
selling it. Now, everybody, this is the history on how I got the TNA championship. So I went to the merch table, was a guy there. I say, yo, that's the TNA championship. He was like, yeah. So he let me hold it and all that. So I was like, yo, how much this run for? Now I'm not gonna lie, he tried to play me. He really tried to play me like, oh, this is a lot of money. It's $400. I looked at this guy like, okay. I walked away. I went to the ATM. I came back. Give me my belt, bro. You know what? I don't even want that. Give me one out of the box. So when he gave me the belt, it came with a VIP ticket. So now we was able to go downstairs during the intermission when they had the meet and greet. I met Jeff
Yeah.
Hardy, AJ Styles, Devon Dudley, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Bobby Roode. Like this is my first ever wrestling meet and greet. You know, my dad was hanging out with Mickey James. Like, it was dope. I got to meet Earl Hebner. Earl Hebner signed my TNA championship belt. So
Mm.
it was like that was a great experience. And then from there on, it was like a I say 10 to 12 year gap before I went to my next meet and greet.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like I said, like
I
no, I was saying like it wasn't. I didn't really have like we had friends that knew of wrestling and all that, but not like how you guys are. Like that's why I love this. Like even like just hanging out with WIE when I first met them, I'm like, yo, like you, I'm like, yo, these dudes look like the NWO. Like who these guys? I see the logo everywhere, bro. So, I started conversing with them, and then I started talking to Alex. Me and Alex got cool. I got cooler with Alex than a lot of people. I still speak to everybody. I say what's up. We all cool. But Alex, that's my right hand man. That's my dude. One half of the Moment Makers.
in the house.
Yeah, the Moment Makers. We actually got something coming for that. I designed the logo and everything that I'm about to throw up. I'm trying to figure out when should we premiere it. New Moment Maker logo. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be real dope.
Premiere it on a show, man. Start a YouTube show, man. You never know. You
I'm
know. You never know.
actually I'm working on something, but you know, editing, doing everything by yourself is kind of hard. See, you got a team with you to help you with video editing and audio and all that other stuff. So, with my work schedule and I try to find time to do everything because a lot of the stuff that you see me put up is like spare the moment stuff. I'll be sitting there, I'll see something, I'm like, oh, let me customize this and then throw it up there just to, show people what I could do.
Yeah, but it pays off though, because I mean, once you edit it to edit it to your satisfaction, and people start clicking on it and liking it, it's only a matter of time until word of mouth gets out there. And they're like, the moment makers got a new episode up. I wonder what they up to. I heard they were coming out wrestling. I heard they were over in Queens, or they went over to New Jersey, and they were doing their thing. So yeah, man. It's yeah. I think y'all should definitely do it, man. Y'all should definitely make it happen. You got an energy about you. Like I remember when I first met you at those wrestling girls events, like couple months ago,
Nah,
couple.
it was the first time we met was at the big event in March. Because I remember when
Right,
you walked
right,
up on me.
right, right. I forgot about that.
It was a big
And
event in
then,
March. I remember when you walked up on me. I told Alex, I said, yo, this brother from Ringside Society said he wanted to talk to me about being on his podcast. Now, mind you, bro, a lot of people see me, you know, I'm out there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a big presence, but I'm also a shy person too. So, like, when you walked up on me, like, that humbles me, bro. You know what I mean? I'm like, you want me on your show? I'm just an average Joe.
that's
No Biden,
that's
but average Joe.
that's that's how we are though. 'Cause, like we tweeted the other day that you know we don't have no criteria for having fans on the show. I mean, you don't have to be a popular fan. You don't have to be, a fan that, we could just see you and be like, yo, what that person's doing is cool. And we're just gonna have you on. We've had people on this show that we first met just by clicking on hashtag Billy Raw. And we saw somebody
Yeah.
talking about Ross. We're like, yeah, something, you're cool. We want to have you on the show. Or we might just, funny thing is, we might just see you with a cool name and be like, oh snap, that person got a cool name and they're a wrestling fan. Yeah, we want to have them on just because we think the name is cool. And you never know who you might meet. We met people that do Twitch. We met one guy, shout out to Giorgio in Louisiana, who does retro. He's into retro gaming. So it's just getting out there and putting yourself out there, and you never know who you'll meet. I remember when I saw you at those wrestling girls again at those wrestling girls show. I was like, yo, wait a minute, ain't that the wrestling god? Nah, I gotta get this man to do an intro on on one of my videos that I'm doing for the podcast Instagram. And lo and behold, we met again there. So
And
yeah,
see,
man.
I didn't really know nobody there, and that was a different wrestling environment for me because it was us. If you understand what I mean by us, you know what I
Yeah,
mean. And I didn't know it really had that urban feel, So that even inspired me even more. Shout out to those wrestling girls. That was definitely a dope event. I appreciate the invite, and we met them at Battle Club. They was
I saw
talking to
that.
Alex. Yeah, they was talking to Alex. Then we started conversing. They was like, "You guys better show up." And I'm like, you know, this is a good step for us. You know what I mean? For us to get notoriety and all that other stuff. So I wanted to meet different people, and I did. The jobbers was there. Definitely didn't expect that. I met the Pretty Hills before too. One of them, the light skinned one with the glasses. I met her at the big event in March. Yes, I met her at big event in March. So, seeing all of them there and the way they was networking with each other, again, that's us. You know what I mean? There's nothing to take away from any other race and all that, but to see us unite like that, that really sparked the
And
flame of it.
you brought an energy to it because you came in there like Biggie. You were like, yeah, I'm doing this wrestling, and then people were drawn to you. Like you had like people from like you had Brian Waters from Wrestling Realm over there. You had this one, the Colton Show, whatever his name was. Sorry,
Yeah.
dude. I don't know what if I'm messing up your name, Colton. My bad. Please correct me. Don't kick my ass. But you had, dude, the Colton Show. You had several people. Job. You had an edge about you, and like I said, man, y'all should just definitely keep on keeping on, man. Just keep that same energy and keep on pushing. You know, and people like that. Yeah, I know it's a different environment because I've been around wrestling fans, and I've been around like people like jobber tiers, who, in my opinion, I have utmost respect for because they don't just have their podcast; they give back to the community. They have like,
Yeah.
as a matter of fact, I don't know if you're going, but this Saturday there is a watch party for Survivor
Survivor
Series.
Series. Yeah.
They have that over at Legends in New York City. When I get off work, I'm gonna check that out. But at the same time, it's stuff like that makes you can't help but respect them because they do stuff like that. They do giveaways. They actually have had. I remember the first time I moved back to New York last year. They had a whole panel,
Mm.
and I'd known of Jobber Cheers for like years. Well, I knew about them for. I knew about Sir Wilkins since 2014.
He's entertaining. I met him at
Yeah,
Hog. He's very entertaining.
yeah, I first met him I think it was WrestleMania 30, the watch party he had for that.
Oh
He
wow.
had the Kurt Angle singlet,
He
and
were?
then yeah,
That's
and
dope.
then of
That's
course
dope.
they had these wrestling girls. I used to talk to them online before I actually got to meet Queen P, and that was at Big Apple Comic Con. So when I finally went to the panel, because I was like, yeah, I'm gonna check out that panel because it's wrestling, it's you know fellow content creators like myself that are actually gonna be there. Let me go ahead and head there, and get to network with people and also get Side Society's name out there. I had business cards and everything, and it was a great event, and that's why I was excited for the last one that they just did because I was like, yeah, it's gonna be popping. I'm gonna definitely enjoy it.
Nah, it was definitely dope. But see, you see everything that you guys are doing right now, Jabba Tears, everybody, like these are ideas that I had years ago. Like I always wanted to do this, but my main focus was involving the children because I know growing up as a kid, we didn't have that person in the neighborhood like we do, walk around with belts and all that other stuff. So when I go to these events, and the kids see me and they want to take pictures, I always allow the kids to take pictures with my belts. Like, you don't even gotta ask me twice. You know what I mean? Like I wanna put something together where, you know what I mean, we could take children on trips and all that to wrestling events. You know, because I always tell people you gotta stay in tune with your inner kid. You know what I mean? That's how I get to converse with a lot of these kids because I understand. You know, I never let that go. I remember creating wrestling belts out of cardboard, and you know what I mean. You had that. Remember when they had the wrestling figures that looked like Hulk Hogan but wasn't really Hulk Hogan? You
Oh
know, the
yeah,
ones you could take the head
I
and the
remember
arms
that.
off. You know, we
I
had
remember
those.
that one.
So, you know, I wanna create something where, you know, that kid that couldn't get that certain action figure, we can provide that for them. So yeah, I'm having a blast while I'm doing all this. It's fun. I love it. But I also have a goal. You know what I mean? I want to achieve something, you know, and I realize, like, you know, doing it by yourself is not gonna be profitable. You know what I mean? I want to go to the top of the mountain, but I also want to bring my people with me. You know, we're gonna party up there together. You know, but I have an idea and a goal of what I want to
I
do,
would
and I
say
sit back and I watch you guys, and I just be like, yo, it just inspires me. It inspires me even more.
thanks, but thank you, man. First off, I appreciate that. Thanks, because I never like when I started. I didn't even when I started this. I never expected to inspire anybody. I was just trying to like give people a platform, like yourself, like A Diddy, and fans and wrestlers alike. Because they got wrestlers that nobody even bothered to interview, and I just wanted to give them that that platform to tell their story. Like I've had wrestlers get shot because like they only had one match. I'll tell you this. I had a woman, right?
Hmm.
Um, she just graduated from Nightmare Factory. I'm not, and she was like, why do you want? Like, I don't think I'm ready to be interviewed because I don't know why you want to interview because I only have like one match. I'm like, okay, and that's one match we could talk about. And
Yeah,
then I said, answer this question, and I'm not trying to boast, but this is how I am. If we could take a second generation wrestler who only had one match and interview them, right? Why not you? That second generation, if you take away their lineage, they're doing the same thing that you're doing. So why
yeah,
you? So why? So why we can't interview you yet? We could talk about it, you know. And then all of a sudden, she was like, "Okay, I'm excited. Let's do it." Lo and behold, who was watching that same episode? It was a representative from Mission Pro Wrestling, which is ran by Thunder Rosa,
wow,
Texas.
wow,
So you never know who is, and that's why you never know who is watching. I we took a picture of Vice TV's latest show, Tales from the Territories, and lo and behold, who liked and actually followed our account? Vice TV, and Vice TV is a million follower account. So you never
wow,
know. You got to keep on pushing. You got to keep on
yeah,
striving, and you'll get to where you want to be. The Rock once said, "This is something I always take with me. This is one of my newest philosophies. Being consistent, being persistent gets you there. Being consistent keeps you there."
yeah.
That's that's something I heard him say one time, and I was like,
Somebody
"Yo,
was telling me about, you know, making sure that, not to cut you off, my brother, saying to make sure that you be consistent. But piggybacking off of what you're saying, like, you see what you're doing with your podcast, that you're giving people an opportunity to shine. I'm doing
yeah,
the same thing, but without the podcast. Like, because when you pull up to a lot of these events, you have people there that wrestling is the highlight of their life, you know? So when I walk in, you know I'm gonna automatically draw attention to myself. But I want them to feel that too. So like that's why you always see me interacting with everybody like that. Like I want you to feel the energy that I'm feeling. You know what I mean? I want you to be comfortable enough to be around me. I don't want nobody to ever feel like, oh well, the wrestling god feel like he's better than me. No, I'm just an average person just like you. You know what I mean? I just got a ton of charisma in my body. You know, so I try to make sure like everybody around me feels that same spotlight that I feel. Sometimes, you know, it just naturally falls on me. So, I just know what to do when that opportunity presents itself.
Yeah, you just got to keep at it, man. And also, you know, I'm blessed because I have a great team around me. I have,
Yeah,
I always say we're like I always say me, Kathy, and Rob were like the Poopies because Kathy's like Lauren Hill. She's the one with the degree. She has a degree in
dope, dope.
education,
Love
which
Lauren Hill.
includes broadcasting. So she's studied for this. Rob is just a natural, and he's like the Wyclef, and I'm like Cross Michelle. Like I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. The first couple episodes we had, I was more behind the scenes, but then I was like, I started feeling kind of guilty. I was like, this is, I started this show, but I got people doing most of the work. So I started like, let me just like come out of my shell and just, you know, start help with the hosting duties. And we've meshed we've been a team for like 3 years now. We've meshed pretty good ever since. Um, and it even elevated Rob to actually become a referee. He actually referees
Nice,
now. So
nice.
so
See
he's
that?
he's yeah.
Now, guys, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, he's actually been doing referee work in for 1CW down in Delaware. And then I got my
Oh,
other
dope.
boy, Chris Alini, who we've been friends for like 10, 11 years, and he's our Facebook admin. So I got a team of well-rounded people that they're pretty knowledgeable about wrestling and so on, and even recommend people for me to have on the show and so on. So yeah, man.
That's
Um,
dope.
I would
See,
say if you got a good team with you, man, that got your back and that see the vision that you have, then you're good to go.
that's
You know,
why, Alex, that's my boy. Hey Diddy, that's my guy right there. Cause it be certain, like, for example, you see the BFAB promo
I
that I
saw it.
did.
Mhm.
Yeah, that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for A Diddy. Because I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous, because walking up to these wrestlers, I'm not used to this stuff. You know what I mean? So he like, nah, don't worry about it. You good? Let's go, let's go, let's go. So one thing about me, once I'm cutting a promo, once I'm in the zone, let me go. You know what I mean? Don't. I can improvise as I'm moving. I'm freestyling. So let me go. So it was like before that video, there was two takes. You know what I mean? The female that we had recording the video, she kept messing up. So I was a little upset. So that's why if you see when the video came on, I yo, yo, yo. But
Yeah,
I improvise. But A Diddy, you know what I mean? He makes sure like, nah, go live, go live. Let's go, let's go. The people want to see you. Let's go, let's go. And I'd be like, you know what? Screw it. So, I feed off of his energy. He feed off of my energy. You know what I mean? So I tell him like, yo, bro, we gotta make sure that every experience is different. You know what I mean? We're gonna always get the same characters, but it's gonna be a different experience. And we gotta start making our presence known a little bit more too. We work hard. You know what I mean? He works his hours, I work my hours. So we try our best to appear as much as we can because, appearances is what really counts. You show up at a
okay.
certain person event, you support somebody there. So a lot of those things is what counts. So we working on all that time and everything. Like I'm trying to bring as much content to you guys as possible. That's why I do most of my lives on Instagram, because I got like you see, you got a team, you got somebody to do this, you got somebody to hold down social media. I'm trying to do the same thing, but a lot of those things cost money too. You got to pay for people time. So
Well,
I'm
it,
trying.
it, it all depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, it all depends, but it's really worth it. Um, like when you say pay, like what do you mean? Like
Like I don't
editing?
want nobody because you know what? All right, some people want to be paid for their time, and I feel like people deserve to be paid for their time, especially if you put something together, you working hard with me. I want you to be compensated. I don't want you to ever feel like, well, oh, I'm just doing this because when a person have something to look for, they'll do their best to put that work together for you.
Hmm.
And I'm a perfectionist when it comes down to stuff, especially like editing videos and all that other stuff. I'm a perfectionist. So I want it to be done a certain way, but I want to make sure that as you was doing it, you did it with love. You know what I mean? With passion, with dedication. So I always want to make sure, like, yo, listen, whatever you do for me, I want to make sure that you compensated for that. That's just the type of person that I am.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Um, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, some people want to be compensated, but I mean, what I was trying to say is that like you could probably throw in a shirt, you could probably throw in something, not necessarily like you know, um, I mean, yeah, money's good, but you never know. I mean, you could probably just throw in a shirt. Like me, for example, I'm a cheap dude. Like I've dabbled in photography, and I've told people, yo, man, if you want to donate, donate. You know, I remember one time I did an event and I got paid $50, and I didn't even expect to get paid. I was just there saying, yeah, whatever you
Nice.
donate, donate. If you want to donate food, I'll work for that too. I don't care. And because that's one of my passions. It's like photography. So I'm the kind of person. If I got a passion for it, money doesn't really matter that much to me. I have my regular job, but once I
Yeah,
got that
yeah.
passion, that's my thing. You know. But
And
yeah,
that's
but
why I'm going as hard as I can, bro, because before I really started doing this, I remember I sat down with my brother, and it was a period in time where, I was going through some things mentally. You know what I mean? I was really trying to figure out, all right, where am I going with my life? And my brother sat down with me. He was just like, yo, bro, you got to find something that you love to do and just go at it. You know what I mean? Like, you got the dedication, you got the passion. So once I started talking to my homegirl Erica, and she was putting me on, shout out to Swerve the Curve, when she started putting me on to Jack Spot.
that's the name.
Yeah,
That's who I was asking A Diddy about. I was
yeah,
like, yeah, because I remember I met Jack Valiant too, and Jack Valiant was like, yeah, I don't really do podcasts interviews, but I'll tell you what. In the meantime, you can interview Swerve. I was trying to remember her name from like the other day when I had A Diddy on.
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Now Swerve, I knew Swerve for mad long, for like 12 plus years. You know what I mean? That's my homie right there. That's my sister. So, yo, bro, for like a year, she would always tell me, yo, you gotta come out, you gotta come out, you gotta come out. So finally I pulled up when Jack and them had the first time they had IRS and Ted DiBiase there. And that right there in itself was a moment. You know what I mean? To meet the Million Dollar Man. I love the Million Dollar Man, one of my favorite wrestlers. So to meet the Million Dollar Man at IRS, that was cool. And then, when I got there, I started seeing all these people that's around my age just, I mean, in tune. And I'm like, okay, all right, it's cool. So the second time I came around, you know what I mean? I forgot who it was that I met. I think it was when Ted DiBiase and them came back. This time I had my chalk line jacket, I had my $1 million championship. Now, mind you, like I told you, everything really started in 2020 for me. So I
Mm,
had brought this Universal Championship right here. I brought
okay.
this Universal Championship um in January of that year. So I already had the belt. I had my Bray Wyatt jacket. I already had things, bro. I had my first ever championship. I brought in like 2007, 2008. You know what I mean? But when I started doing this now, I had that belt. So when I went to meet them the first time, I brought out the Universal Championship. I already had my FanDuel belts. I bet had those. So the second time I met the Million Dollar Man, I brought the $1 million championship. So now I got the Ted DiBiase jacket. I got the I got the $1 million title. So when I came out, I had ran into my guy I gave a shout out to earlier, Ray Rock, the drip guard. So
Okay.
he's like, yo, every time I see you, man, you stay fly. You stay wrestling fly. And that shit clicked. It clicked. I said, all right, every time I pull up to the event, I'm gonna make sure I don't look like nobody else. If I wear anything wrestling, I gotta add an urban feel to it. You know what I mean? So I just started pulling up, dressing, the way I dress, and then Stay Wrestling Fly was born, and that was that was through the grace of Ray Rock. Ray Rock gave me that idea, not even knowing it. You know what I mean? He was just like, yo, bro, you always fly when I see you always fly. So um Erica was just like, yo, bro, you gotta start coming out to these events more. So once I started going to Jack Spot, from Jack Spot, I found Warriors of Wrestling. When I went to my first indie shows with Warriors of Wrestling is the platform that created the Wrestling God. Like from there, it was over, bro. It was over. I was on a rocket ship, going. It was over. Then I linked with A Diddy, and we started building, and I started linking with certain people. We all started talking, and I'm just like, yo, bro, like we could really do something. You know what I mean? If we put the right team together, we could really do something. So, my right hand man's when it come down to wrestling as a brotherhood is Gents and A Diddy. Those are my right hand men. You know what I mean? So we just trying to build an empire where, everybody feel comfortable coming around and enjoying wrestling. But we also can make money in the process of doing it because you got family to feed.
Yeah,
So and this is an expensive hobby, bro. Very, very expensive hobby.
trust me.
But
I just shelled out. I just shelled out some serious money for one logo, our newest logo, Stripe Lives Matter.
mm,
It that it was it was a bit more expensive than what I normally get, than what I normally pay for a logo, but it was worth it. I liked it, and yeah, I was like, I was like, I gotta get this thing out here, man. I gotta get this thing out here. It's been never before seen. Nobody else has. At least I don't think anybody else has it, and it's something that either the referees are gonna like or people are gonna get pissed off because basically Stripe Lives Matter is like the stripe, like how Black Lives Matter has a
yeah,
fist.
yeah, that's dope. That's
So I took that.
that's dope.
Actually, so here's the thing. That's actually my co-host Rob Bass fist. He's an actual referee. So I said, how about if I take the fist of an actual referee and make it into a logo? And then I told Rob Bass, yo, send me a picture of your fist. And we put it in stripe. I had somebody put it in stripes, make a logo out of it, and put Stripe Lives Matter at the top. So was it costly? Yeah, but scared money don't make money.
Listen, brother, you ever need anything designed, holla at me. I do everything myself. Besides my Wrestling's a Brotherhood logo, that was created by my brother Gents. Shout out to brother Gents. That's why I tell him he's the glue that keeps everything together. I know my logo, it fell down a little bit, but you know what I mean? Gents designed the logo for me. You know what I mean? And that's again, that's the whole purpose of Wrestling's a Brotherhood. You don't have to go outside to nobody. We family. You know what I mean? So you should be able to come to your brother, and your brother should be able to help you free of charge. Even if y'all do decide to, exchange funds or something like that, we still supposed to be there for each other. You shouldn't have to go out there and spend all that money for a logo. Like, I ain't gonna lie, the prices is crazy, bro. That's why I started doing everything myself. The prices are crazy.
Yeah, man. It is what it is, but yeah, I was happy with the finished product, and I got a couple more ideas in my head. I'm just waiting to jot down. I always tell people like my brain is like I'm always thinking ahead, like
Yeah.
a million miles ahead because there's just so much I want to do at Ringside Society. Like, we got Christmas coming up. Um, we were gonna do a special giveaway. We were actually, I'm gonna say it now because the game might not come up, but we were actually gonna give away the AEW Fight Forever game because we do giveaways like that.
Nice. Nice.
AEW, they have not told us a date, so I don't know if it's going to be a time for Christmas. But whenever Tony Khan says it's available, we'll get a PlayStation One or Xbox One, or two lucky winners will you know get a copy of the AEW Fight Forever game free of charge. We did that before with Battleground 2 years ago.
Nice.
We've
Nice.
given away a Fire Pro Wrestling game. We've given away um some of our own merchandise. We actually giving away to people. So we like to give. That's why we call ourselves the Wrestling Fans Podcast, because we like to create a space for wrestling fans where they can come shoot the breeze, give where they can appear, shoot the breeze, um you know, talk about certain topics. Like we have like topics episodes. We started doing topics episodes again, and we had like who are the best, who are each of our top 10 best trios that we've seen in
Oh,
professional wrestling in honor of the trios titles, and we had two special guests that we had on from our past 50 minutes of fandom episodes, and we had them on here. A lot of times we have our predictions episodes. Actually, we got one tomorrow with another past guest from 50 Minutes of Fandom. He's gonna be on here, and we actually do stuff like that, like get fans involved. Because one of our main things here is that you know we want to encourage people to keep up that fandom. Because we wrestling fans, people look at us like we're childish and all that stuff, and that's not necessarily the case. I mean, a lot of us, for us, it's an escape, from
yes,
what's going on. So
yes.
we're trying to like we just want to keep on like encouraging that fandom, and not only that too on the wrestler side of things, encourage those wrestlers that are or ring announcers or referees that are in the business, that we don't care if you make it to WWE or AEW or not. We don't care if you had a one match or 1,000 matches. The fact that you go into that ring and you put on a show for us, the fans, we want to hear from you. We
I'm with
want you.
that, bro. I'm definitely with that. I agree with you.
So that's why that's why we started doing our thing and so on. And when Rob told me that this encouraged him to become a referee, I was like, awesome, goal achieved. He actually decided to become a referee. And I always told Rob and Kathy, if you have to leave Ringside Society, I mean, granted, we'd be at a loss. If he has to leave Ringside Society to, become to advance in professional wrestling, whether it's a referee or a wrestler or someone, because there's many different positions you can have in pro wrestling, not just as a wrestler.
Yeah, yeah.
Granted, that granted that is the focal point, but you can be a manager, you can be a ring announcer, you can be a referee, you can be what else? You could be a person that makes gear. We've had a gear maker on our show before. You can
Wow.
be a person that makes entrance themes. We've had a guy that does entrance themes from Canada for several people. So yeah, that's pretty much what we're about,
But
And
that's
I
the
even
dope aspect. That's dope what you're doing. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I want to do when I go to these events, interview the fans, because the fans are the true essence of wrestling. And it's not taken away from the wrestlers because I appreciate everything they do in the ring. My first time being like to Warriors of Wrestling and like really hearing those bodies hit the mat, it's like, yo, bro, that ain't no cakewalk in the park. And then when I finally got a chance to see them strip a ring down and I seen what was under that mat, I started respecting them even more, bro. Cause like, yo, that's plywood, bro. They really hitting. They taking those bumps, but the
I wish
fans is what really,
I wish
that boo.
I wish Rob Bass could have been there. Hopefully, like I said, we'll have you and A Diddy back on for one of our prediction shows. I wish y'all could have met Rob, man, because let me tell you how much I'm proud of Rob. There's fans. There's some fans that think that because they have a certain amount of followers that they're more over than even some
Yeah, yeah, they get big headed.
right. Here's what Rob. And granted, none of those so-called fans ever bothered to become a pro wrestler. None of them. Here's what Rob did. Rob started going to his local promotion in Delaware. He used to go there early and ask them, hey, if y'all want me to y'all need help setting up. If y'all want to help y'all set up, or I can stay back and help y'all strip down the ring and everything. And eventually they let him. Now one of them was saying, hey, if you want to try and take some bumps, see if you like it, then by all means feel free to come in the ring. And we'll show you some moves and so on, right? Next thing you know, he takes some bumps and he decides, yeah, he's gonna give it a shot. He ends up training at the wrestling school to be a referee. Now, every for the past, he's been in it for a year now as a referee. He's a part
Wow.
of that is how you do it as a wrestling fan. You don't just. Granted, social media is great. Don't get me wrong, but if you want to be in the business, you got to show up for the position that you want. You got to act for the position that you want.
Yeah. Show the dedication.
When I was in the same situation like you two, where I wanted to do this so badly, and I saw my mentor George Alonso at WrestleMania. It was WrestleMania 28 week, like 10 years ago, and I saw what he was doing. I was like, yo, I want to do that too. And eventually I met up with him again 9 years ago, 2013, and I saw the guy's podcast. And I was like, yo, this guy's podcast is good. And I talked to him. I was like, yo, George. Granted, by that time, like I was following a lot of wrestling. I'm like, yo, George, I can get you this person. I can get you Angel Blue. I can get you the Mascara Mafia. I can get you the Dynamite Kid's daughter on your show,
Oh
who's
wow.
who's only done one podcast before. Lo and behold, I worked hard and I got all those people for them. And once I did that, he's like, yo, Remy, I like your work ethic. I want you to be on my team. I want you to be a booker. And I never got complacent. I kept bringing 100%. I got Nyla Rose on his show. I got
Wow.
Trevor Murdoch on his show. I got Stevie Richards. I got who was another one that I had? Princess Victoria, one half of the first ever WWF Women's Tag Team Champions from back in the day. Had her on the show. I got Heidi Lee Morgan, who used to wrestle for WWE as well back in the 80s. I got several people. I even got him Gino from MLW when he was known as
Wow.
Thunder. So that is another reason why, I even tell Rob and Kathy, like, Kathy, Rob, I don't mind people saying they want to join Ringside Society. Because we've had people come and tell us they want to be part of our crew. But there's only two people I work with: badasses and people I can mold into badasses. And the reason why I can say that is because I've been in that proving ground. So I could afford to say, if you want to join my team, you gotta prove it to me. You
Gotta
gotta
bring something to the table.
do something, because I'm not trying to have everybody in my team could hold their weight. I could say today, tomorrow, yo, Kathy, Rob, I'm not gonna make the show tonight. Y'all take it over. I know they're gonna knock it out of the park. I could tell my homeboy Christolini, the Facebook admin, yo, I need you to hold down the Facebook group for me for a couple of days. I got something I gotta do. And he'll hold it down. So that's why I always have that's why I always have that level of that level of standard, because that's what I bring. That's what I had to bring all those years ago. We're looking for a Spanish translator because we're trying to corner the we're trying to, well, not corner the Latino market, but we're trying to get those wrestlers that don't speak English but they speak Spanish. Trying to get somebody to translate, because we did that before. We've had this girl, Roxy, hardcore wrestler from Puerto Rico, does not speak English. We had somebody translate her for us. We had Katrina Cortez from WWE, the Master Luchadora. She was on our show. We had somebody translate what she was saying for us. Imagine that. We were able to take somebody who doesn't speak English and get somebody to put a voice on that person so they could tell their story.
Like, that's dope. You ever been to like the Luchador independent events?
Nah, not yet.
I've been to one. It's that is a different feel. And the crazy thing about that, shout out to A Diddy. A Diddy was the one that did it. We pulled up to the spot, and A Diddy pulled out all these damn belts. So he threw all the belts on me. So when we walk in the spot, it's all these Mexican people everywhere, bro. When I tell you, I drew so much attention to myself, I was taking attention away from the actual wrestlers. So the owner of the promotion, no, yo, bro, that right there was a different experience. So the owner of the event came to me and he's like, yo, what's your name? Such and such says, yo, give me your number. The next time we have another event, we want you to show up. I said, all right, cool. But the way everybody was just walking up to me, the kids wanted to take pictures with me. Bro, they was ready to pay me money to take pictures with their kids. And I'm like, nah. Like I said, for the kids, no. You know what I mean? The wrestling god love the kids. I got kids myself. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So I try to make sure, like, nah, you don't got to worry about with the kids. Because I always wanted that growing up as a kid. Can you imagine just walking through the streets, or you go to an event and Macho Man pull up, or Hulk Hogan pull up, or Ultimate Warrior, and this guys want to take a picture with you, like you said. A lot of people get a certain position with this wrestling field, and I've seen it. They get a little big headed, and it's like, yo, bro, you gotta bring it down a notch because you wouldn't be where you at right now if it wasn't for the fans. The people that's liking your videos. Bro, I appreciate everybody that show me support. You know what I mean, bro? I appreciate this right here. You know what I mean? Like, everybody is not doing what you're doing. You're really focusing on the essence of, the root of wrestling, which is the fans, the up and coming wrestlers. That was my main focus too. Shout out to my guy, Cuda Montana. Wait, like, can I curse?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I could the only for my guy Cuda motherfucking Montana. You know what I mean? He's the Warriors of Wrestling No Limit champion. You know what I mean? And when I first went there a year ago, I watched his whole career. Another one, shout out to my guy Jay Lynn. You know what I mean? He's one of the members of WIE. He's a pro wrestler at Warriors of Wrestling tag team. The Anarchies up and coming. And being at those shows, those wrestlers come in the crowd, they talk to us, they interact with us. You actually get a personal one-on-one with them, and it's like, yo, bro, this is dope. You see a different side of wrestling because growing up we had Monday Night Raw, SmackDown. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it, bro.
I know.
So
Trust me, I know those days. I know those days. These kids now these days they wouldn't know about that. You know.
no, 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 no. You had to wait until the magazine came in the mail within a week.
Oh yeah,
And if your parents ain't signed for it, you was not getting no magazine, bro.
oh, yeah.
No, no, no. So that's why what I'm doing right now, bro. That's why I'm bringing people in. I'm showing people like, you know, what I'm doing is to benefit everybody. But the main focus is to make a way for these children, these kids that love wrestling, to have that avenue to say, hey, I want to be a wrestler. Because, bro, I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to be a wrestler. But where did I want to, where was I going to train? I didn't know who to speak to train and do all this other stuff. So I tried to go in the military, right? I was gonna go in the military, I just wanted to go to the military for the basic training. I was gonna do the basic training and then see if I could find my way to wrestling from there. But, I was a young fat kid. I got turned away because they was like, oh, you overweight and stuff like that. So, you know, I was I was at a point where I was like, I just got discouraged. I was like, all right, whatever, I ain't want to do it no more. You know? So, but I always wanted to be a wrestler, bro. Always. So now, I'm thinking about putting my focus in being the new modern day melanin Paul Heyman.
Do it, do it, dude. There's so many places. I mean, come on, bro. You got Battle Club.
Yeah.
You know, Battle Club. You know not Battle Club. You got the Fallout. You got the Fallout. You can go to the Fallout. You got Johnny Rod's wrestling school. He's a Hall of Famer. You got his wrestling school you can go to. You got Creator Pro, which is ran by
Mm.
Pat Kevin Matthews. You know, um, yeah, there's several people. There's several people, man. This is New York, man. Trust me. You could find somewhere to train to become a manager, man. If you do, let me know, man. I'll have you back on here as a main guest, man. Because we've had people. No cap. We've had people that have actually started off on 50 minutes of fandom guests, and then they got into the business. There's one guy down in Georgia. His next show is actually tomorrow. Diamond Sheik. He now runs a promotion called
Oh,
Difficult
nice.
Challenge Wrestling. And how we found out about Diamond Sheik was through his brother. How we found his brother was on AEW Dynamite. His brother was wearing a Scooby Doo costume. So we found that guy, hit him up. And like I said, once again, as I said earlier, we could just see that you have on a certain shirt or a costume. And we were like, hey, we want to know what that person's story is. We hit him up. He did the show. Then he said he had a brother that actually likes wrestling as well. Started talking to the brother. And then next thing you know, boom, the brother's like, hey, I'm training at the Nightmare Factory with Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall.
Nice.
I'm like, awesome, fine. Whenever you graduate, let us know. We'll have you on the show. Boom, he graduates. Then we have him on the show. Now um he actually has his own promotion down in Atlanta.
Yo, the South. See,
Yep.
out of New York is a big wrestling market, bro. And I noticed that. Like, because a lot of the indie shows that I started looking into is in Jersey. Jersey has a big indies wrestling market. But when you leave out of New York, bro, it's like it's everywhere. That's why I was like, yo, I gotta start traveling more because that's where it's really at. And I'm serious, bro. I want to be somebody manager. I really want to do it, bro. This is
Good.
the reason why I do live promos to sharpen my skills. Because if you look back into the history of my videos, most of it was pre-recorded. So I'm gonna tell you a funny joke. So one day I had went to the event and I wanted to record something, but my phone memory was full. So I'm trying to delete so many videos and photos and all this other stuff. So I still didn't have enough time to shoot the video. So I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna just do it on Instagram Live, and I'm gonna just have to make sure I stay on point and be perfect. So it came out real good. You know, I messed up a little bit here and there, but when I seen myself live and what I was capable of doing, I said, all right, from now on, every video is going to be live, straight promos. So, somebody came to me, one of the wrestlers in the indie scene came to me and was like, "Yo, bro, like you got a great manager style. You know, if you ever thought about getting into the game," and I was like, "Yo, that'd be cool. Like, you know what I mean? Be Jimmy Hart, Bobby the Brain Heenan."
Do it. Do it. Yo, wrestling God, I'm telling you, man. Don't wait until you're older, man. Do it if you can, man. Trust me. You already have an energy about you. Go ahead and be a manager, man. Some of the best managers, wrestling has a lot of iconic managers. You had Bobby the Brain Heenan,
It's my
Jimmy
guy.
Hart, even now you got guys like Stokely Hathaway, you got Prince Nana, you know, you got
I met him in person. I got a
yeah,
picture with Prince Nana.
yeah, you got a lot of people that are actually doing the damn thing as managers. So I mean, yeah, man, just go ahead and train for it, man. Why not? Become, elevate yourself. I mean, there's nothing wrong being a fan, but be that fan that elevates and goes on to be a referee. And when you do, let us know. We'll have you back on the show. You know, we won't even waste any time. Just like with Rob Wilson. When Rob became a referee, I was like, nah, we got to get this interview with Rob, man. We can't let nobody else interview Rob before us because that's our guy. We had him on. He has his own episode. So yeah, man, I'd say do it, man.
Well, you the
Go.
first person to have besides my guy Cook, but he's not in the wrestling scene like us. But this is my first official wrestling podcast. First one. You know what I mean? And I'm telling you, bro, when you walked up to me at the big event, you was like, yo, bro, I still got your card in my wallet and all the way from March. You handed me the card. You was like, yo, brother, I like what you're doing. Your energy is great. I would love to have you on my podcast. I went to A Diddy. I said, yo, A Diddy, this brother said he want to have me on his on his podcast. I'm like, yo, that's what's up, bro. Like, you know what I mean? To me, when I see you guys, y'all guys are like superstars to me, bro. You know what I mean? Nah,
We're
I'm
just
serious. You got
man.
guys like King Coley. You got Scotty Boy and all these guys out here doing things and all that. Like y'all guys been doing it. Y'all guys are at a level that I'm trying to get to.
You'll get
You
there.
know?
Just keep on being persistent, man. Just keep on being persistent. You got the energy with you. Keep on like bringing that energy. Just keep on reaching out to people and networking, man.
Yeah,
You never know who you will meet. Trust me, I met so many people just by talking to them, and it's like, wow, okay, that's cool. So many people. The guy that did our logo, that Yin and Yang sign, the ringside side
that's
logo,
dope. I like that logo.
um, Moreno, aka if y'all, for those of y'all listening and watching, if you ever want to know who did that logo, at Moreno Artwork, great guy. He's done most of our logos. We saw he did a dedication to Renee Michelle. We were like, okay, we want to
Nice.
have you on our show. And the next thing you know, I was like, I hit him up. I was like, you do logos? He's like, yeah. I'm like, I got an idea for a logo because the logo you see at the back in the background, that was our first logo, but I didn't like it. I wanted something. It wasn't what I really wanted. That was something I made. So I
Yeah.
was like, I got a logo I want you to make for us, and then he gave us that logo there. He made that logo for us. So you never know who you'll meet just by traveling and just talking to people and just putting yourself out there. You know,
That's why that's why I
the
love
same,
this field, bro.
and the
Because
same thing with me too. I'm so determined to get our name out there. Like if I hear some, cause that's why I got the business cards. Because I'm like, if I hear somebody going talking about wrestling, like for example on the train, I heard two guys talking about Chicago and certain indie promotions. So I'm like, these guys wrestling fans. So immediately I didn't care. I was like, yo, either I say hi and they kick my ass on the train because New York is crazy, or they say
oh,
hi and they let me into their conversation. So I went up there and was like, yo, I heard you guys talking about Chicago. Y'all wrestling fans? He's like, yeah. They're like, no, we actually trained to wrestle at House of Glory. There were two wrestlers that were training.
wow.
I said, all right, good. I hit him with a business card. Bam, bam. I'm like, yo, whenever y'all make y'all debut, let me know. I'll have you on the show. We just need you to have one match, and it's a wrap. We could talk about that one.
That's I'm telling you, bro, the wrestling universe is different because you definitely meet a lot of people, and it's more open. Like you know how if you go to a nightclub to go meet people, it's
Yeah,
it's not it's not a welcoming environment. You know, it's like a battleground. You know what I mean? When you at a wrestling event, it's an open environment. Like people are welcoming. Hey, how you doing? Yo, can I get a picture with you? Yo, that outfit you got on is dope. Or you got people that's cosplaying and all that. Like that is dope, bro. Like and just sitting there, like you said, you get to meet a lot of good people. A lot of my close brothers I met through wrestling. You know, and one thing I always say, and my dad, he's a big wrestling fan too. We watch WrestleMania is around his birthday. His birthday is April 5th. So,
mm,
it's a tradition that we watch WrestleMania together. And he always say like wrestling will never die. It will never die, no matter how much they try to get rid of it. Wrestling will never die because, like you said, some people, this is their escape. When, like, if you're a Triple H fan, you know what I mean. You can relate to him. So when you see your idol out there winning and doing this, it inspires you. That's why I try like when I'm at these events and I'm around people, I don't like to invade people' personal space. You know, some
right.
people, this is their highlight of their life. So I try to make sure that they enjoy that highlight. You know what I mean? You're gonna remember this experience when you go home.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, man. That's definitely a good way to look at it, man. But yeah, it's an awesome community, and I'm glad I'm a part of it. And yeah, man. I know you're definitely. I honestly think you should definitely become a manager, man. Like you already got the vibe, you already got the look. Why? I could see you going yo yo. I could also see going to the ring and going yo 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 yo, and the crowd actually chanting, "It's your boy C.F.N. Bills." The wrestling, and then you put the mic in the air, and the crowd
That's
says in unison, "God." And that's when you know you got them. The Rock did it too. The Rock was saying his first couple of promos, he's saying the crowd's gonna be chanting Rocky, Rocky, Rocky. Couple weeks later, what were they doing? He was saying the
yeah.
crowd's gonna be chanting, and then he said they doesn't even say anything. They're like Rocky, Rocky. He even got so good he was telling Michael Cole one time, "Shut your mouth." They're chanting my name, and then they start. You could be that too, man. You gotta keep at it, man.
And it's crazy? A lot of the stuff that I learned was from The Rock. Because The Rock, Stone Cold to me is, you know, what is one of the greatest wrestlers ever. At that era, out of Stone Cold to Rock, I was with Stone Cold. But The Rock is the greatest entertainer of all time. He knew how to certain angles and what I mean, the way he moved. And I learned that from my brother too. My brother's an MC. So when he get on the stage and perform, he never stands still. You want the people to feel your words. So that's why you move. So that's why I make sure whatever I do, you feel it. You know what I mean? Like I'm bringing you there. I want you to see the world from what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? So but I watched a lot of the Rock promos, and the way he would turn his head with the camera is aiming at a certain way, and then he like it just all of it is timing the way he do it. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna make sure like when I say the wrestling guard, you could easily say the wrestling guard, but I wanted it to be different. So you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
A little bit, yeah. Some episodes.
So there's a guy up there named Barney Stinson, and he's always saying legendary. So he say legend, wait for it, dairy.
Isn't
So
that isn't that Neil Patrick Harris?
yeah.
I've seen a couple of it. I've seen a
Yeah,
couple of.
so I took a lot of those things and I incorporated it into what I do now. So, with the first time I ever did that, the wrestling, because you want to sound like you shouting it, and then go, because I wanted it to give that the suspense feel. You know what I mean? So I wanted people like when you say it, that's the way you're gonna say it. And the crazy shit is, a lot of people say it like that.
That's another thing with consistency. You keep on doing it, people are gonna get accustomed to it, and then they'll start saying it. You
even
know,
when I even when I did yo. Again, none of that was planned. It just clicked like that. So
yeah,
and the first couple of videos I did like that, I say, yo, somebody gonna get annoyed by me constantly shouting yo on the video. But I said, you know what? Screw it. Everybody not gonna like it, but there's gonna be those that do. And then, here and there, I'm hearing people like, yo, bro, I peeped your video the other day, bro. Yo, I was entertained, yo, you made me laugh. So what I do is when I was on the road at work, you know what I mean, I would go live here and there and tell people funny stories of things that happened to me when I was on the road and all that other stuff. Just to show people like I have a comical side too. You know what I mean? I'm a funny goddamn dude. I want to do stand-up comedy, honestly. If you want to be honest, I always wanted to do stand-up comedy. But again, all of those tools, I just incorporated like this is who I am. You know what I mean? All I did was just added a name, the wrestling god. You know what I mean? But this is who I am. This is what you're gonna get. Love me or hate me, but this is who I am.
yeah. A lot of people, from what I saw the wrestling girl celebration, a lot of people took to you. A lot of people showing you love, man. Like I said, just keep on keeping on, man. Like even with my intro, when I did my intro when I was in Osaka, Japan, I was doing an intro one time for my Instagram story, and then one person liked it so much. This Japanese, they were Japanese. They were like, "Hey, can you send a message to my friend because they heard like the energy that was around my intro." And I remembered another time where me and my friend were in Rockefeller Center 3 years ago, and I was doing the same intro. And then this lady's like, "Yo, are you a rapper?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm not a rapper. Trust me, I'm not." She's like, "Oh, okay. I thought you sound like a rapper." I'm like, "Nah, I'm not." But yeah, and then I did it for the Dirty Heels.
Yo, those my guys right there.
One of them wanted me to do a promo, to do a shout out, and I did that same intro. Like, "Yo, that's neat. That's dope, man." Yeah. So you never know how people. You never know, man. Just you got the right energy, man. Just keep at it, man. You'll definitely get to where you want to be, man. Like I said, you got the look. Just keep at it, and you'll definitely. I could see you being a manager, man. I definitely think you should go for it. I think you should.
You know what, bro? I am. I'm gonna push for that. I
And I
got
always say, always remember rejection over regret. If you get rejected, fine. At least you attempted and it didn't work out. You gave it your all, and
yeah.
sometimes it doesn't pan out. Maybe it'll lead to something else. But the worst feeling you could ever get is if you regret is regret, and that's regretting never giving it a shot, never actually getting in there and giving it your all. You'll keep asking yourself, "What if?" For the rest of your life. I
Yeah,
guarantee.
what I could have did and what I should have did. Yeah, bro. I can't live that woulda, coulda, shoulda life. You know what I mean? That's why I say when I show up, I show out. And and I ain't gonna lie, bro. One of my biggest concerns is, and I have this problem with a lot of people that hang around me. I tend to shine real bright, and a lot of people get intimidated. So, I used to always tone myself down. So this gave me the opportunity to really let the sun out. You know what I mean? So, but I was also nervous because I'm like, yo, I don't want nobody to think that I'm trying to steal a platform or, cut anybody's throat or say that I'm
There's
better
room
than
for
them.
there's
Huh?
room for everybody. And those who feel you're outshining them, they probably weren't that good anyway. Keep on keeping on.
Yeah,
There's room for everybody. In Hulk Hogan's world, there was room for Jake the Snake Roberts. There was room for Macho Man. There was room for Ted DiBiase. All those men took home fat paychecks. I don't mean to put their business out, but they were able to eat, and so were their families. Look at now. Yeah, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are eating, but so
yeah,
is CF. You know,
yeah,
When Cody Rhodes was there, he was eating. Adam Page was eating too. Everybody in AEW is eating. So why is it in the podcast world, you know, everybody can eat? It's not a one man show. So
yeah.
keep on shining. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you're too bright. No, keep on shining. We need people like that. So don't let nobody tell you that, man. Like I said, something I learned too. Like when people say you can't, or they try to, or they try to like prevent you, they're actually showing their own weakness. They're showing their own limitations. So you can't let people like don't dim yourself, man. Just keep shining, brother. Keep
Oh yeah,
shining.
nice. It's on now. It's on now. And I tell everybody, I'm the sun. Just don't be Icarus. Because I'm gonna
Yeah,
show up and I'm gonna show out. But I wanted to make sure, like when I started calling myself the wrestling god, I wanted it to be in a positive way. I wanted to be different than what JBL was doing. You know, I wanted to be a man of the people. Like when people see the wrestling god, it's like, all right, yo, we want to be around this guy. But one thing I'm not gonna do is sell myself out for likes and all that other stuff. That's why I said what you see is what you get. That's me.
gotta come later.
Yeah,
Like
like
that's
I'm
another
not
thing. So
going above and beyond, bro.
that's another thing. So I'm sorry you didn't go to Black Wrestling Festival, but that was one thing he touched on. The whole thing with likes, that don't mean nothing. The whole thing with followers, that don't mean nothing. Because guess what? I'd rather have 1,000 engaged followers than 10,000 bots. Because you can
Yeah,
buy.
yeah, yeah. Most of that be bots too, bro.
I've had people actually offer me to use their services to buy followers. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna pay you to like
All the
me.
time, bro. All the
If you like
time.
me, it's because it's genuine, not because I'm paying you.
Yeah.
So
I
that's why
I
I always say,
feel it's more satisfying when you do the work. Because when I first, no lie, 2020, my followers was at like 429. When I started doing this, bro, I just reached 3 or 4 weeks ago. I just reached 1,000, and it's still growing. And it's
and you're
still
gonna get
growing. Again, I wasn't really a fan of the followers. Like I know who I know. Like you said, I know I engage with these people, so I'm cool with that. But once I started doing what I was doing, I was like, all right, I do got to start building me a little following, you know? But I'm not selling myself, bro. I'm not, I'm not, I'm not embarrassing myself. I'm not compromising my dignity. I'm not compromising my who I am as a person. Like if I feel like it's not something that goes with my morals and my values, I don't care about the dollar, bro. I'm not selling myself out. No.
when I believe it or not, when I did this, I didn't do this for the money. I do it because it's my passion.
Yeah.
I told Queen PR, I was like, this is my nightclub on Saturday and my second church on Sunday.
Nice.
This is my nightclub on Saturday night, my second church on Sunday morning. I don't do this for money. I do this because I like it. It's been here for most of my life. It's my passion. If I make some money on the side, yeah,
That's
that's
a
nice.
plus. Yeah, that's a plus.
I already have two jobs, so if I make money from this, I do. If I don't, I don't care because I enjoy this. I enjoy interacting with fans like yourself, like AD, like Henny Wrestling, and I enjoy talking to the wrestlers. You know, And we've met, like I said, we've met a lot of we had Damian Priest's little brother on here the other day. We didn't even know that was his little brother,
Wow.
and we wouldn't even care because we still would have had him on. We've had people that have actually. We had Roxy on our show at one point, Roxanne Perez. Now she's in WWE.
Nice.
We've had AQA who was in WAW. Did you see NXT earlier this week?
Yeah.
Remember the guy that got sacrificed?
You talking about the guy? Yeah.
That guy? That was Cameron Stewart. He was on our show last year. Yeah.
Wow. And,
So
and how long you guys been doing it?
so technically as a brand we've been around for going on 10 years. Next January
Wow.
10 years.
Wow.
But as a podcast, it's been 3 years. We had
Wow.
some where life happened. I joined the Navy. I of course that was a big chunk of my life, so I couldn't really do anything with Ringside Side at that time. And 2019, I was like, okay, something I got to get this ball rolling. Like, either now or never. And March 31st, 2019, we've been ever since then we've actually been doing the podcast and interviewing people and so on. So yeah, we've come a long way. We've had a lot of interesting people that we're proud to say have gone on to do bigger and better things, and that's why we're proud of ourselves because we never looked at those people as, oh, they're not popular enough to be on our show. No, we didn't care about that. I mean, if you're in that ring, we want to talk to you. So hurry and get your managerial debut on so we can have you on here too, brother. So we can have
I'm working on it. Listen,
the rest of
Kuda Montana, if you see this, I'm trying to be your manager, bro. Tell Warriors of Wrestling to bring me in.
But anyways, man, before we shut this down, man, I just gotta say, thank you very much
Anytime,
um,
brother.
for taking time out of your busy schedule to be on your show. Thank you for downing all those energy drinks to, to be. I don't know. I hope you're not bouncing off the wall when you get off here, man. But
Oh, nah. Listen, once we finish, I'm going back to playing God of War. I got a I got a
good.
4-day weekend, so I don't got to go back to work until Monday. So
Hey, get it, brother. Get it. But I just gotta say, it was a pleasure talking. It was an honor talking to you. Thank you very much. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling and also purchase Stay Wrestling Fly merchandise as well too?
So, I got a Facebook, but I don't really mess with Facebook like that because they constantly throw me in Facebook jail. I have a crazy political view. But you want to find me, look me up on Instagram at C.F.N underscore wrestling guard, or you could follow my other page, Wrestling as a Brotherhood, or you can link me through Wrestling is Everything on my guy A Diddy underscore take that. You know, Instagram is where I'm at. I'm building my Twitter. Somebody kept telling me you have to get a Twitter
Yo,
and the TikTok.
dude, trust me, Twitter is it.
Yeah, I see. I'm Twitter illiterate, bro. So I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
So basically, all it is, it's like it's like a messaging site.
Yeah.
You go on the person, you type in their at, like for example, we're at Ringside Society. Just type in at Ringside Society and type in what you want to say. This, hey Ringside, how you doing? Just you can type in at Ringside Society and put Merry Christmas. We'll see that and we'll reply to you.
Okay.
It's not that hard. It's not complicated, man. It's pretty simple. But I would highly recommend you get on it because there's a lot of people on there. We have most of our followers are actually on Twitter, and you meet so many people all over the world, man. And it's a big thing. Like all the people you saw there at that wrestling event, they're on Twitter. Those wrestling jobbers here. The Colton show is probably on there. Wrestling Realm, all those people, they're on Twitter. So I would highly
Okay.
recommend.
All right. I got my TikTok up and running too, the Wrestling Guard. I got
That's
a
another
couple of videos up there. So, I'm working on getting my other social medias up and going, you know. So I want to give people different platforms for them to be able to see the Wrestling Guard because I'm telling you, it's gonna get interesting. It's just getting started.
So y'all definitely should make sure you follow this man. He's doing a lot of great things for the wrestling community. working hard. He's very enthusiastic. Make sure you follow A Diddy too as well too. Another cool guy. And also shout out to my other brother, at Henny Reston. Henny, tell your Dominican people stop trying to claim me, yo. I'm not. No, I'm not Dominican. I'm Guyanese. I'm just messing, Henny. Don't Henny, don't beat me up, man.
He going boom, and you gotta be careful with any boom, bro. You gotta be
He
careful.
go he go boom, and then you can hear that song going.
That's
And
my
let me
guy
tell
right there, Henny, man. That's my
you,
guy.
be cool
He's
people.
another one, bro, doing big things. I tell him he's the hardest working man in the business.
Yeah, man. Definitely is. I'm very proud of him, man. Like he once helped me out of the show. I was almost stranded in Jersey one time, and he helped me out one time with getting back to New York, man. Shout
That's
out,
what's up.
Kenny. If you see this, thank you for that, man. I appreciate it. But
So I love wrestling, bro.
but for those of y'all watching and listening, if y'all want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter at the Remy Blue. I'm also on Instagram at the Remy Blue, and I'm also on Facebook at Remy Blue as well. Our podcast on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. Just type in Ringside Society, see us. We're on Spotify. We're also on Teespring. That we have our official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have hoodies, we have long sleeve shirts. Uh, so make sure you just check it out. Pop some merch. All proceeds go back into keeping this show afloat. And last but not least, we also have a YouTube channel. We have a lot of cool interviews like this one, the one we did with A Diddy, Henny Wrestling. We also have a lot of main guest interviews like the one we did with Katie Hebner, the daughter of Earl Hebner, Michael Martinez, Damian Priest's brother, and we've had many other great people as well on our show. Too many to mention, but trust me, check out our YouTube. You won't be bored. All you gotta do is type in Ringside Society. You see that
Yeah.
good looking dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it. That's when you know it's us. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. That means it's time for a nap. It's not just yet.
Damn, my throat gets scratchy.
It's
I
all
like
good.
that outro. I like that outro.
But maybe not just yet. But before I partake in those activities, I just want to say, thank you very much. It is Thanksgiving. Well, it was Thanksgiving, 12:36 now. But myself, Kathy Knight, Rob Bates, we're very thankful for y'all that have followed us, been on our show. Even if you just shared and liked our content, we really appreciate y'all. And just know that we're very grateful and thankful for y'all as well. So thank you very much. We will continue to um, bring you some of the best content and still be one of the best wrestling podcasts or wrestling fans should listen to. Another thing, Survivor Series this weekend, Saturday, for those of y'all in New York City and surrounding areas, Jobber Tears has a watch party at Legends Bar. That's right, Legends. It's on 33rd Street, West 33rd Street between 6th and 5th Avenue. If you don't want to watch it alone, feel free to hop on by, enjoy some food, enjoy some drinks, and some wrestling with your fellow wrestling fans as well, courtesy at Jobber Tears. Trust me, you will not be bored. You will enjoy it. I'll actually be there as well as soon as I get off of work. But that's that event. And also, um, with that being said, once again, thank you very much to those of y'all that are watching right now. We really appreciate it. For those of y'all that are going to listen later on, when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those of y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really including wish we'd go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, we're not going anywhere for a while. With that being I just want to let y'all know that we here, at Ringside Society, we're very well aware of everybody and their grandparents and their parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. So with that being said, I'm gonna say it right now. One time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Thanksgiving, and one time for the wrestling God, C.F.N. Bills. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast. Ringside Society. And we'll be back tomorrow with our Survivor Series 2022 predictions with special guest Heel Maggle, aka Michael Allen. But until then, we just want y'all to do four favorites for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out.
Hold
Peace.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Let me wish a happy acknowledge me given to everybody in the wrestling world.
There you go. Y'all have a good night now.